Alarming testimony in the trial of a former police officer accused of murdering 16-year-old Susana Morales. Investigators revealing phone records, they say, place Miles Bryant near the scene where her body was found.
Atlanta News First, Chelsea Bimefore is live at 5 in Gwinnett County and Chelsea. Detectives also talked about what they found in Bryant's car.
Yeah, alcohol bottles, handcuffs, disposable gloves. Those are just a few of the items that investigators say they found when they searched Miles Bryant's personal truck. A CSI investigator testified that she also found a woman's driver's license, a loaded magazine, and $1,000 cash in a sealed evidence bag. The defense argues that some of those items are standard for police officers to have. Today, a Gwinnett County inmate also taking the stand, testifying that Bryant told him in jail after looking through his case files that there was not enough evidence to tie him to Morales's murder.
He says, it says right here plain, there's no blood, no semen, no nothing. They can't, they ain't got nothing against me.
The defense asked that inmate if the district attorney's office was cutting him a deal for testifying to try to get out of jail for his charges earlier. He said no, and that he talked on the stand because it was the right thing to do.
Okay, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Donna Just Being Real. My channel is all about dating, love, relationship, toxic relationship advice channel. So we're back on it again. We're going to focus on this week 1. So I'm showing some clips. And so today's clips, we're going to be focusing on this creep right here by the names of Miles Bryant. Check the description so you can find a little bit about the trial. Then I also have a video that you can find out basically more about this case. So what we're going to be focusing on today is this beautiful girl that he unalived. Her boyfriend is going to be on the stand. So we're going to focus on the boyfriend. Where we at? I'm sorry. We're going to be focused on the boyfriend and then also 2 of her friends that's on the stand because they was with her that night that this creep took her. And then at the bottom, you see the girl at the bottom? Oh, she have a story to tell. This monster was stalking her. Big time. But we're going to get into it. All right. So what you do is you make sure you hit the like button, share your thoughts and opinions in the comment section. And if you need to reach out to me for a viewer's request, coaching, or just want to speak to me about something on the side privately, you'll find my email address in the description. All right, ladies and gentlemen, let's get into this here. Wait a minute. Let me enjoy the music here while I set up for the next clip. Okay. Oh, I also forgot we're going to be getting into the medical examiner. That's what we're going to start off with. I almost forgot. Okay. All right. So now in this first clip, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to focus on the medical examiner. We're going to hear what does she have to say. This is so sad. I know the mother was in the courtroom. This was just like destroying her. All right, ladies and gentlemen, let's get it.
Point, the examination and the autopsy and determining the cause of death.
Okay, well, I examined the remains. Let's see, the remains were found on the 6th. I was doing the examination on the 7th. I had employees who responded back to the scene to canvass the scene during the daylight hours to see if we could find any more physical remains there at the scene. I was doing the
I forgot to say, the speed is going to be on 1.25. If it's too fast for you, what you do is to hit the setting and you could slower it. But I think you'll be able to catch it. All right, let's get it.
Examination on the 7th and did not see any skeletal trauma to the remains that I have, and was able to make the positive identification upon being given the dental records on the 8th. So in looking at everything that I had, I could not arrive at a specific cause of death. Again, I'm limited in what I have. I just have bones here. But as I mentioned earlier, as a medical examiner, we don't conduct examinations in a vacuum. And you've got to consider the circumstances. And then once knowing who this deceased was, young female, no known significant medical conditions, last known to be alive, some distance from where these remains were found. Also, in the course of doing the examination at the scene, I didn't find any personal effects. I didn't find any remnants of clothing. So it looks like she's likely nude at the scene. And so many years ago, early in my training, I was told when filling out death certificates, one of the things that's important is to be consistent. And throughout my career, if I don't have demonstrable physical trauma to the remains, I will tend to use the term undetermined, and then will specifically say why. In this case, I believe if I had had the intact body, I could have come up with a specific cause of death, but I'm limited based on what I have. The body is too decomposed. All I have is a skeleton because the circumstances, again, young female, this isolated area where it's far removed from where she was last known to be alive, and no personal effects, no clothing. As a medical examiner with 30 years of experience, if I were to see an intact individual at this type of a scene, first thing I'm going to think of is some type of homicidal violence, specifically some type of asphyxial type component, strangulation, suffocation, chest compression, things of that nature. Because if you have a nude individual, nude or partially nude, that better be, as a medical examiner, that better be one of the first things you're thinking about. And so the fact that she doesn't have any skeletal trauma does not exclude that. And again, my cause of death, undetermined due to decomposition with skeletonization. It's not, if I could test this or that, I could come up with a cause of death. There's no getting around the fact that I don't have what I need to have to make to rule out what I think is going on. I'm very suspicious of strangulation, chest compression, suffocation, smothering, something of that nature. And I just do not have the body in a condition where I can prove that or disprove that. And so I've called it undetermined. And as you can tell from listening to me, I'm very verbose about stuff. On the death certificate, I'm limited to what I can put. But in my report, I'm quite explicit about these are my findings. These are my impressions from the get-go. There's no more testing I can do because what I need to see is not there. And there's no bringing that back. I mean, her neck structures, they're not there. Skin, flesh, it's not there. And it's not that not only can I not tell, no other pathologist is going to have access to this because it's not there. She has decomposed to the point where I can't establish this. I can say I'm very suspicious, and that's where I have to leave it because it's based on the circumstances. And so that's how I came at my cause and by convention, unless I have, again, being consistent, unless I have physical trauma, I tend to call things undetermined and say why. But then we'll go into detail in my report about what my opinion might be. And again, based on my experience, 30 years as a medical examiner with this type of situation, again, young female, deceased, no obvious trauma, and decomposed well away from where she was last known to be alive. This is different from someone who may have dementia, live in an area, and then shows up dead in the woods somewhere. You know, it's very much dependent upon the circumstances, and these circumstances are very suspicious for homicidal violence, but I can't prove it because of the condition of the remains.
Dr. Terry, based on the recovery of the remains in this case, were you able to make any conclusions about how long the remains had been at the scene where they were at? That's
They'd been there a while, I would say, and by a while, months, maybe, I think she was last known to be alive in January, and July of 2022, and then the remains were found in February of 2023. So it's consistent with that time period. And I say that because almost all of the flesh is gone. There are a couple of bones that have a slight amount of dried soft tissue, but it's very minimal. And there is some fatty degenerating material referred to as adipocere that's associated with rare bones. But she is almost completely skeletonized at that point. And so she's been there for a period of months.
Did y'all hear that? Yep, Gigi and Francine. Blessings to you, and thank you for the blessing. Yeah, now Gigi. I feel sorry for the mother. All right, we're gonna get to the next one here because we got a lot to cover today. But like I said, I'm just doing clips. I'm not doing this whole trial, just certain clips. I like to focus on certain things. I just can't wait when this clown gets on the stand. That's what I'm waiting for. Ooh, my gosh. What do you have to say? Typical sociopath. Typical. All right, and I see you too, Crystal. All right, let's get into this next clip. All right, give me a second to find it. Sorry there. Okay, what are we getting into? All right, now we're going to get into the boyfriend. Give me a second. Okay. The boyfriend. Okay. Okie dokie. All right. Now, in this clip here, we're going to be focusing on the boyfriend. The names I don't have. I'm so sorry. I didn't get a chance to get the name, but he's going to say it here, so I didn't write down the names. But this is her boyfriend at the time before this creep unalived her. All right, so let's hear what the boyfriend have to say on this stand, ladies and gentlemen. And what you do, make sure you hit the like. Let's get it.
In this matter is the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth.
Yes.
Okay, please be seated. And sir, have you ever testified in court?
No.
Okay, this is my court reporter, Sheila. She's taking down everything that is said in the courtroom, including your responses. And since she doesn't have eyes in the back of her head, she cannot tell if you nod or if you say nod or in the affirmative. She also can't take down uh-huhs or uh-uh. So we may say, is that a yes? Is that a no? To make sure the record is perfected. We also going to need you to speak up. You're going to have to get close to the microphone so that the jury and my court reporter can hear you. Also, you may anticipate the questions of the attorneys and you may want to jump in and answer. Wait till they finish talking, because if you start talking over them, my court reporter doesn't know whose testimony to take down, okay? Okay, so just chill. There's water there if you would like some. Okay.
All right. Good morning. How are you?
Good, and you?
Good.
I'm sorry, I had to crack a joke. But did the judge just tell him just chill? Really? Okay, let's get back to it.
Could you please introduce yourself to the jury? Tell us your name.
My name's Axel Zaragoza.
And would you mind spelling your name for us?
AXELZARAGOZA.
Axel, how old are you?
17.
And Axel, back in July of 2022, how old were you then?
I was 16.
16. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. And so when do you turn 18?
This year.
This year. All right. Now, are you in school?
I just graduated.
Graduated. Fantastic. And where'd you graduate from?
Meadow Creek High School.
Very good. Congratulations.
Thank you.
I want to ask you, do you know Susana Morales?
Yes.
And tell the jury how you know her.
She was my girlfriend. I met her in the May of 2022. I met her at the gym.
And tell us, what gym are you talking about?
Planet Fitness.
Where was that at?
Jimmy Carter.
Now, we all both just in there working out?
Yeah, I was about to leave. I saw her, so I had to come back and get her number.
Okay, very good. And when you...
Did you hear what the young man said? He saw what he liked, and he turned back around. He had to get her number. You go. All righty. Back to it. I know he's so heartbroken. Lord, look how well-dressed he is. She had herself a good catch here. All right, resume.
asked for her number. Did she give you her number?
Yeah.
After that, that was May 2022. Walk us through, I guess, a little bit about, did you end up starting a relationship with her?
Yes, we did.
And how long after you met her did that really start?
Probably like a little bit over a month.
Okay. Now, I have learned as I've gotten older that teenagers use different terms than I do. During that period of time, from when you met her to really when you started a relationship, were y'all talking?
Yeah.
Okay. And so just kind of the getting to know you phase?
Yes.
Is that fair?
Yeah.
Okay. How did y'all mostly communicate at that time?
We were talking a lot on the phone. We would also hang out in person.
And where would you hang out at?
The first place we hung out, I think, was the lake.
Okay. What lake was that?
Lake Lanier.
All right. And when do you think, best you can remember, kind of a official relationship started?
Probably towards the end of May or early June.
Now, how often would you see Susana?
At least once a week, twice a week.
Okay. When y'all would see each other, where would y'all generally hang out?
Attention retirees, if you're
Either like we would go to the movies or like out to eat.
Would you ever spend time at her house?
Once.
Did she ever spend time?
Gigi, you noticed that. Well-dressed and well-spoken. He finished school and everything. Listen to testimony. She had herself a real good catch. If I had a daughter, you come home with him, I'll be like, yeah, that's what I'm talking about. Until this creep came along and messed up whatever they could have had in the future. Stupid creep. Resume.
Time with you at your house?
Yes.
Now, where do you live at?
On Tucker.
In Tucker?
Yeah.
How far was it from your home to Susana's home on Santa Ana?
9 minutes.
9 minutes?
Yeah.
You know exactly how long it took you to get there. Is that by driving or walking?
Driving.
Did you drive at the time?
No.
And so if she would come to your house or you would go to her house, how would you guys get back and forth?
My dad would go pick her up.
Dad would go pick her up, bring her back to your house?
Mm-hmm.
And again, you have to.
Oh, yes. Yes. Sorry.
You're doing fine. How often would you hang out at your house?
Probably hang out in my house like 2-3 times.
And who do you live with?
My parents.
You have any siblings that live there with you?
My brother.
Okay. So you, your brother, and your parents?
Yes.
So when you would go to the movies or out to eat, how would y'all get to the movie theater or the restaurant that you were going to go to?
My parents would drop us off.
So would your parents pick her up with you in the car?
Yes.
So Jack, I don't really understand the relevance of any of this.
Judge, I'm just trying to have him lay a little foundation with his relationship with Susana and a little foundation.
Okay, I'm going to overrule the objection.
Now, I want to take you to, well, before I go there, did you like Susana?
Of course.
And do you feel like she liked you?
Yeah.
Okay. Did you love her?
Yeah.
How would you describe Susana?
She was really uplifting. She was nice to everybody. She was a really loving person.
Did y'all have a good relationship?
Yeah, we did.
July 26th, 2022, the day that Susana was taken, did you talk to her that day?
Yes, I did.
Kind of tell the jury about that day and your conversations with Susana.
She called me over the phone before she left to Kelly's house. And also, right before she left her house, she also called me saying that she was going to go out with friends to go smoke. And she'll call me when she get home.
In a phone call, did y'all just pick up the telephone or was it a
FaceTime call?
FaceTime call. So if you remember, do you remember approximately what time it was that evening when Susana FaceTimed you to say she was going to Kelly's house?
Now, Gigi, you and I both on the same page. I was just typing to you. Look how his face lit up when speaking of her. Did you see that? Oh my gosh. She had herself a real good one until this creep. I'm getting so angry. Just like, you remember the other trial, now, Gigi, with the Nathalia? The boyfriend was on the stand. This is like similar, the same thing. He was speaking to her that night, waiting for her to get home and making sure she get home safe. And then this creep comes around, just like that creep Uber driver. All right, let's get back to it. Let me calm down.
It was around 4.
Okay. And then, were there 2 FaceTime calls or just 1?
2.
2. Okay. So when was the first one?
Like around 4.
Okay. And in that call, what did y'all talk about?
We were just talking about her day.
Did she tell you at that point that she was going to go anywhere?
Yes.
Okay. And where did she say she was going to go?
She said she was going to go to Kelly's house.
Did you know Kelly?
Not personally.
Big news. I made over $500,000 working from home.
Through Susana, did she tell you about Kelly?
Yes.
Okay. Had you ever met her?
No.
Did you know where Kelly lived at?
No.
So when Susana told you she was going to go to Kelly's house, did you know where approximately she was going to go?
She said it was like 5 minutes walking distance.
You said there was a second call.
Yes.
And what was the second call?
She was telling me pretty much that she was going to go smoke with her friends and that she would call me when she got home.
All right. And what time, if you remember, was that second call?
Around 8.
Okay. So at the time she called you the second time to tell you she was going to go and smoke, was she at home at that time?
No.
Okay. Do you remember where she was?
She was in Kelly's apartments.
Okay. So she was already with Kelly at that time?
Yes.
Were you able to see Kelly in the FaceTime video?
No.
How long do you think that phone call lasted?
I don't remember.
It's okay. Now, there, she said she was going to call you once she left Kelly's house?
No, once she got home.
Once she got home, okay. Tell us again, did you ever hear from her again that night?
No.
Did she call you when she was on her way home or had gotten home?
No.
What was the first time that you realized something might be wrong with Susana?
When she wasn't answering her phone at all.
So tell me, did you try to call her?
Yes.
And what time was that? If you know.
Probably like around 1 in the morning.
Okay. Now, at that time, by the time you had tried to call her, had anybody contacted you to tell you anything about there might be an issue or a problem?
Esmeralda called me around 1 in the morning saying she was with me, but she wasn't answering her phone. She wasn't home. And I said that she wasn't with me. So that's when I tried to call her.
Okay. So at 1 o'clock in the morning, you tried calling. Did you get any response?
No.
Did you try texting her?
Yes.
Did you get any response?
No.
And did you try social media?
Yes.
What kind of social media did you guys communicate on?
Instagram and Snapchat.
And did you receive any response from her on either of those platforms?
No.
What'd you do at that time?
I told my mom.
Okay. Were you at home at that time?
Yes, I was.
1 o'clock in the morning, were your parents awake or did you have to wake your mom up?
I had to wake my mom up.
And why'd you do that?
Because I started getting like uneased because she wasn't answering, because normally she would always answer me, even if she was sleeping.
Hi, it's Chris Duggan here, and I would love to invite you to a 5-day
You talked to Esmeralda that night. Did you know Esmeralda?
Yes.
Had you ever met her or hung out with her?
Once.
Did you have her number as well, Esmeralda's number?
No, I had her Instagram.
Instagram. So did Esmeralda contact you on Instagram or did she call you?
She called me on Instagram.
Called you on Instagram. Okay, so you can make phone calls on Instagram?
Yes.
Before Esmeralda had contacted you, did you have any indication from anywhere that something was wrong with Susana?
No.
Now, you expected a phone call from Susana when she got home. Did you have any idea what time that was supposed to be or when she was going to be home?
No, I didn't know.
Now, when Esmeralda called you, were you already asleep or were you kind of up waiting for the call from Susana?
Yeah, I was waiting for the call.
Okay. Had you tried, after you FaceTimed with her when she was over at Kelly's house, did you try reaching out to her before Esmeralda called you?
No.
Did you receive any messages from Susana while she was with Kelly and Alyssa?
No.
Did you know Kelly or Alyssa?
No.
At the time that, back on July 26th, and really expanded out a little bit before then, that part of the relationship was a new relationship, but did you ever suspect that Susana was seeing other guys or talking to other guys besides you?
No.
Would that, if she had been, would that have surprised you?
Yeah.
And why is that?
I don't know. It would have.
Another way of saying this, you didn't suspect her.
Sorry, I had to say it. Just tell the prosecutor. Prosecutor. No, I know she's not gonna cheat because I'm a good man. You see what I'm saying? You can say get cocky. We can tell. We can tell by looking at the way you dress, the way you carry yourself. You finish school. Oh yeah. Oh boy. So sad.
Of running around on you or meeting up with other guys or anything like that?
No.
And you mentioned a moment ago that obviously Susana told you she was going to smoke. You knew she smoked marijuana?
Yes.
Did you ever smoke with her?
No.
And did you know how often she smoked?
No, I don't remember.
And when she told you that she was going to smoke, was that odd to you?
No.
Now, did you ever know Susana to run away and not come home?
No.
Did you ever know her to stay out and where her mom didn't know where she was and not communicate with her mom?
No, her mom always knew where she was.
Did you know her mom?
Yeah.
And how many times had you met her mother?
Probably like twice.
When you guys would, in the dating relationship, when y'all would see each other, would you mostly see each other around each other's families or kind of separate and apart when you were out at dinner or movies alone?
Both.
Both, kind of half and half?
Yeah.
Okay. And how did you find out? Well, let me ask this before we get there. After she disappeared that night and you talked to Esmeralda, kind of walk us through what you did.
Well, I went to go talk to my mom, telling her that Susie isn't appearing, she's not answering the phone. So she called her mom, and her mom thought she was asleep at a friend's house.
Okay. So your mother called Susana's mother?
Yes.
Okay. And then, so once that phone call happened, kind of tell us what happened.
I went to sleep, and I woke up the next morning, and that's when I called Jasmine. Esmeralda gave me Jasmine's number.
All right. Susana's sister?
Yes.
All right. And you called her and said what?
I don't remember.
Why did you call her?
Because I care about Susie.
Sure. And you wanted, well, let me ask you, what did y'all talk about when you called Jasmine? What happened?
Well, at first, she asked me if she was at my house because she didn't come home all night. And I said, no, she wasn't at my house.
Okay. At what point did you really become concerned that something had happened to Susie?
When she didn't answer the next morning.
Okay. So even when you talked to Esmeralda that night and hadn't heard from her, thought maybe, what did you think?
Maybe she fell asleep.
The next morning, did you try reaching back out to Susie?
Yes.
And did you get any response?
No.
When you talked to Jasmine and confirmed she wasn't at your house, what did you do?
She came to pick me up, and we filed a police report.
Who did you?
Jasmine and her mom.
So where did you go with them to file the police report?
To their house.
Now, so were you present when the police showed up and to file the report?
Yes.
Did you talk to the police?
No.
All the internet business gurus, they're going to hate me for this one. Have you ever wondered?
After filing the police report, what happened?
They told us we had to wait 48 hours, I think it was.
And
Hey, good to see you. I saw your comments in the other video I did yesterday. And thank you for leaving feedback, and I'm glad that you're here. All right, let's get it. First, we did the medical examiner. Now it's the boyfriend. And after that, we're going to get into the two of her friends. And after two of her friends, we're going to get into the girl that he was stalking. Oh, my gosh. Lord have mercy. All right, let's get everyone.
You get that directed from the police, right? They can't list her as a missing person until 48 hours. What did you do?
I don't remember.
Let me ask you, did you go looking for Susie?
Yeah.
And with that day or other days?
That same day, too.
That same day. All right, where'd you go?
I think we went to where her last location was.
Had you received those phone screenshots as well that documented her location?
Yes.
Right. Who'd you go with, if you remember, to look?
My parents and Jasmine and her mom.
You went to that area where you believed her phone to be, the last location, and when you got there, walk us through what you did.
We pretty much just searched around like the outer woods of those duplexes.
Okay. And you looked in the woods?
Yeah, we were trying to find a phone.
Did you?
No.
Did you find any information about Susie?
No.
Did you talk to anybody there at that neighborhood?
I don't remember.
Okay. Now, how long do you think that you were out there looking that day?
Probably a couple hours.
After y'all stopped searching that day, did you ever go back anywhere and look for Susie?
Yes.
Tell us kind of what efforts you made looking for her.
We would drive around to different apartments, different places, see if we could see anything, if we could find anything at all.
When you were driving around, who were you with?
Jasmine, her mom, my dad.
Now, when you were driving around, you said you went to different apartment complexes, different areas?
Yes.
Any particular reason you chose those areas to look at?
They were close by.
So it's more just kind of randomly looking around at different areas around?
Yes.
Did you ever find at any point any information about Susana's disappearance?
No.
If you know, give us an estimate if you need to. How many times did you go out looking for Susie?
Pretty much every day since she went missing.
It was over 6 months later before her body was found. Did you spend that entire time between her disappearance and her being found looking for her?
Yes.
During that time, did you ever find anything?
No.
How did you find out that the police located her?
I was at work, and Esmeralda called me saying that they had found her body.
What went through your mind at that point?
At first, I couldn't comprehend it. I didn't want to believe it.
Did you still think she would show up and come home?
Yeah.
When you found out, did you find out the general area where her body was found?
I found out on the news later that day.
That area out in Tequila, did you have any information, any knowledge about why Susana would be out there in that area?
No.
Did she know anybody there?
No.
The area where you went and looked at O'Clock Trace, that area, the next morning, did you know of any reason she had to be there?
No.
Those are all the questions I have for you, so thank you.
The defense may have some questions for you.
Okay.
Thank you, sir.
Good morning, sir. I'm sorry for your loss. I just have a couple of questions for you. Did Susana have a good relationship with her dad? Do you know?
I don't remember. She said it wasn't the best.
And also, we talked a little bit about that she liked pot. Are you aware of any other drugs that she used?
No.
You remember going to the police station and giving a statement to two investigators and talking to them about a picture?
I didn't go to the police station.
Oh, they came and met you? You didn't go with your mom?
No.
Okay, do you remember talking to them and telling them about a picture that she had sent you with an acid tab on her tongue?
Oh, yeah.
Okay. So anything other than acid and marijuana?
No.
Or she never shared with you, or you never came to find out that she had ever tried anything like crystal meth?
Well, she said she tried it once.
All right, thank you.
Just a brief one. The pill that she tried once, whatever that photograph was, did you talk to her about it?
No.
Did she ever tell you about that experience of trying that?
No.
Do you know how the photograph that Ms. Drake was talking about? Do you have any idea when that was?
I don't remember.
Let me ask you, do you know if whatever it was she tried the one time, was that before your relationship began with her?
Yes.
So after you're in the relationship with her, she told you about this one time she tried something?
Yes.
Did she say anything about not liking it or anything like that?
Yes. She said she felt disgusted with herself after trying it.
Disgusted with herself after trying it?
Yes.
Okay. Thank you.
You're welcome.
No further questions. Thank you, sir.
May we release this witness?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes.
Okay. All right. So you can step down, you can stay in the courtroom, or you can leave.
Okay, give me just a second while I clip to the next one. We're gonna get into the one with the blonde hair. We're gonna hear what she has to say. All right, give me a second here. Okay, now this is one of her best friends that's on the stand. The name I don't know, but I don't know if they're gonna say it here. I don't know her name, but this is one of the friends, and she was with her, if I'm correct, that night. So let's hear what she has to say.
I want to take you to July 26th, 2022. Did you see Susana that night?
Yes.
And tell the jury, kind of walk us through that night. What happened?
So the night of the 26th, Kelly and Susana came to my apartment. It was like maybe around 7 or 8 o'clock p.m. And we started with doing piercings because my sister-in-law wanted a belly piercing. So we were doing a belly piercing, just taking videos. And of course we did smoke. And after that, she ended up, Kelly couldn't have company over after a certain time. It was a school night. So after that, she ended up leaving my apartment. Both of them walked away from my apartment around like 9:30, somewhere around that time. I can't remember specifically what time, but it was around that time they ended up leaving my apartment. From there, I don't know what happened until the day I found out that she was walking with Kelly to the golf court, and then Kelly went home, and then she went, as we thought, home.
So the last time, what was the last time you saw Susana?
That night when she walked away.
And I'm going to show you what I've marked as State's Exhibit number 49. I want you to look at this and tell me if you recognize it.
Yes, that was the video we took.
Okay. And obviously this is a piece of paper, so this is not a video, but is this just a still shot of a video?
It's a video, yes.
Okay. Well, would y'all go ahead and turn that off for a second? Thank you. Is this a fair and accurate screenshot of that video that you took that night?
Yes.
Okay. Judge, I move to admit State's Exhibit number 49 and ask for permission to publish.
No objection.
Okay. State's Exhibit 49 submitted without objection and
No. Okay. Can you see that?
there's a glare for me. And you can also look at it on this screen.
Yes.
Can the jury see that? Okay.
Can you tell us just kind of who's who in this photograph?
That's me, the white girl. That's Kelly in the middle, and that's Susana on the left side.
Are you taking this video with your phone there?
Yes. I love memories.
What's that?
I love memories.
And this says 9:04 p.m.
Yes.
July 26th at the top. Is that a reference to the time in which this video was taken?
Yes, that was right after the piercing.
Right after the piercing. And
Yeah, you can kind of see, if you kind of zoom in, you can see where the piercing is, because that's like also part of my phone gallery.
where the piercing? Oh, so you mean over here in one of these photographs?
Yeah, you can see like the time frame, and then that was like the last video we took, and then you can see the next video is a video I took when I went inside.
Okay, I understand. Where is this video taken at?
On the stairs, at the top.
At your apartment?
Yes.
Okay. And 9:04 p.m. How long after this photograph do you think that Kelly and Susana walked her off?
I can't remember exactly, but no more like after 9:30.
Okay. Now let me ask you, why did they leave? What was y'all were having a good time hanging out?
Yeah, we were having a good time, but I have a stepson, so there's a bedtime, and I had to get ready to go inside, and then they had a school night, so we're getting prepared for school.
Okay. And so walk me through, if you can remember best you can, kind of the conversation that's happening right there at the end of the night, right? And as it's coming to a close and they're leaving, what are y'all saying?
It was nice hanging out with you. I'll see you later.
Okay. Where did, at that time, where did you believe that they were going?
I just knew they were going home.
Okay. Had that been the discussion? Everybody was going home?
Yeah.
And another way of asking this, maybe a little differently, is did Susana or Kelly talk to you or say anything to you about, we're going to go party, we're going to go do more drugs somewhere, we're going to go meet some boys, we're going to, anything else?
No.
Okay. So it was, we're going home.
Yes.
Okay. That night, how was Susana acting?
To me, normal.
And what I mean by that is, was she happy?
Yes.
Was she having a good time with you guys?
Definitely. You could kind of see her smiling in the picture.
Did you have, as you left, any concern at that point?
No.
You mentioned that you didn't, after they left and then walked with Kelly and Susana, after they walked away, you didn't really know anything else happened odd or weird until the next day?
Correct.
Okay, and what was the first thing that you heard?
The first thing I heard was, well, it wasn't hearing, it was a text from her best friend, Rose, Esme, they call her. And she was just asking me, did I know where Susana was?
You know what time that was?
Not really, but it was like early in the morning.
And you mean like daytime early in the morning, or like
Yes.
middle of the night early in the morning?
Like after 8 a.m.
That's morning. All right.
Okay.
Had you heard from Susana at all?
No.
Any calls, text messages, social media, anything?
No.
After she left?
No.
Did y'all have each other's information? You had each other's phone numbers?
We only had each other's Instagram.
Okay, so did y'all communicate on Instagram?
Sometimes, yeah.
Did you have any conversations, communications whatsoever with Susana on Instagram after she disappeared?
Oh, no.
Did you, were you able to participate in looking for her at all?
I was able to.
Okay, and what did you do?
Well, when we were doing one of the flyers, like putting out flyers, I would put out flyers and I got the chance to, but I was going through a lot at the time, so it was hard for me to focus on what was going on because I was going through a lot.
I understand. That evening, did you notice anybody as y'all were at the apartment complex? Did y'all spend the whole time at your apartment that night?
Yes.
Did you notice anything unusual that night? Anybody watching or anything?
No.
What happens to your skin when you soak in baking soda?
So you said you got this text. Do you remember what time?
Okay, ladies and gentlemen, her testimony is done. Now, we're going to get into the next friend. This is another one of her best friends. Let's hear what she has to say. And then after that, we're going to get into the other girl that he was stalking. Oh, my gosh. All right, let's hear what she has to say.
Almost around 10, I believe.
So we see on in 18.6, you got this text. Do you remember what time you got the text?
Almost around 10, I believe.
So we see on in 18.6, can you see the time of the text message?
Yes, ma'am.
And is this your phone that we're looking at this text?
Yeah, the one in the picture.
In this picture? Okay.
Yes, ma'am.
And what time did the text come in?
10:29.
And when you got this text, did you know where Susana was?
No, I did not.
Were you awake when you got this text?
Yes.
What did you do when you got this text?
I tried to call her and she didn't answer. And so I called Esmeralda because I thought they were together.
And did Esmeralda answer?
Yes, she did.
And the links we see in stage 18.6, a phone number. Do you know whose phone number that is?
That's Susana's phone number.
Okay. And we see a link at the bottom. Did you click that link?
Yes, ma'am.
What did that link show you?
It showed me her Life 360 location at the Oak Ridge apartment, the one right next to Kelly's.
I'm going to give you the pictures back. You can go through them and tell me when you click the link, which picture was it that pulled up?
This one right here.
You're showing us 18.4?
Yes, ma'am.
You have permission to publish 18.4?
Yes.
And again, this is on the screen. Tell us here, for those of us who don't use 360, what we're looking at, so we understand.
That is her location. Her icon says that it was there.
So that picture we see in the picture with the multiple girls, whose picture is that?
Susana put that picture up. It's me, Susana, and Esmeralda.
Is that the picture? So she would have put that as her icon on 360?
Yes, ma'am.
And where is that showing? What is that showing us, the picture?
I believe we're at the arcade.
No, I'm sorry. I get the pictures at the arcade of the 3 you girls?
Yes.
Okay. So where is the ring on the 360 app showing that she is?
In the neighborhood right there, the Oak Lock Trace.
Do you know that neighborhood?
No, I have a friend who lives there, but I'm not very familiar with it.
That friend that lives there, was that a friend of Susana that she would go to?
No.
Did you know any reason why Susana would be at that location that night?
No.
And near, it says near Oak Lock Trace on the bottom.
Mm-hmm.
What, and then it says since 10:30 p.m. yesterday. Tell us what those mean.
It says that her location has been there since 10:30 p.m. So like she hasn't moved since then from that area.
Okay. And that's what you got when you opened that link.
Yes, ma'am.
You said you called Esmeralda after you talked to reach Susie, and you talked to Esmeralda. What did you do after you got that alert that night?
After speaking with Esmeralda, she went out there and checked it out because we were thinking she got into a car accident. She couldn't find any debris or anything, so we just assumed that she was sleeping over at a friend's house, and we slept on it.
Did you go out to that location that night as well?
No, ma'am.
You said Esmeralda did?
Yes.
How did you know Esmeralda went out there?
I was on the phone with her the whole time.
You stayed with her on the phone the whole time she was out there?
Yes, ma'am.
And if we could pull up picture 18. So this picture is submitted into evidence as 18. Can you explain to us what this is showing us?
The details of her location.
Okay, so that location of 298 Wednesday Village Lane, do you know that location?
I believe that's Kelly's house.
Have you been to that house before?
Yes.
And it says that under there sometime 7:28 to 9:58. What does that mean?
That's like how long she was there.
Okay, so looking at that time, if she got there at, let's say 6:30, would it show on the app?
Yeah, if she got there at 6:30, it would.
Okay. What if she was somewhere else, like the living room or the bedroom, a different place, then like her phone moved? Would that change the time?
Oh no, because if it's in like a very small area, then it wouldn't.
What if you're walking around in the parking lot of the apartment complex? Would that change the time?
Yes.
Hey, Meta. And we could bring up 18.1. Ms. Carter, looking at 18.1, that's been admitted into evidence, one of the screenshots you took. Can you explain to us, first of all, what is the time on this that it says on the phone?
It says 9:58 p.m. to 10:07 p.m.
Can we make it bigger so we can see the top? Okay, we see the top of the phone.
Mm-hmm.
The 856.
Yes, ma'am.
Whose phone is that? The 856.
That's my phone.
Okay. And the battery, the little LTE yellow battery, that's your phone?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. And we see the short trip, the 9:58 to 10:07. Tell us what that means and what we're looking at here.
So it's basically a trip is anytime you make movement that's big enough for it to capture. So like if you go on like a car ride to the store and come back, it'll show you the trip, like the highest miles and stuff like that. Or if you go walking across the street or something, and that's what it means.
So we see that path there with a white dot to the black dot kind of crisscross.
Yes, ma'am. I'm not entirely sure.
And if we could look at 18.2. And again, you took this screenshot, right?
Yes, ma'am.
Tell us what we're looking at here.
That shows her driving from the front of her neighborhood.
Did Susana have a car?
No, Susana did not have a car.
Did she drive?
No.
Okay. Do you know at 10:21 p.m. Who she would be driving with?
No, I don't. I'm sorry.
Okay, that's okay. And we see that location that says Steve Reynolds Boulevard at the end. Can you explain to us from the white dot to the black dot up top what that means?
It means that she started at where the white dot is, the Steve Reynolds Boulevard. She started there, and then she ended where that black dot is. That's where the trip ended.
Okay, and we see on the bottom the speed, the phone usage. Explain to us what those mean, the top speed.
Yeah, so the top speed will just tell you like the fastest speed, like on the whole trip, the fastest that you've gone. The phone usage, it'll see how much she's been on the phone. The other three, I don't have like the gold membership, so I'm not familiar with those.
So is that why we see that little lock?
Yeah.
Okay. That location of Steve Reynolds Boulevard, do you know why Susana would be over there?
Yes.
The top location where it stopped at Steve Reynolds location?
Where she ended?
Yeah.
No,
Do you know any friends? Do you guys in your friend group have any friends over there?
no.
And if we can look at 18.3. And so we see at the top, what time is this on your phone?
12:12.
And tell us what we're looking at in this picture of the screenshot you took.
This is Susana's location, and I was on that little box is a FaceTime call I was on with Esmeralda.
Okay.
And yeah, it's a screenshot of her location.
Okay, and on the bottom where it says under her name by her picture, what does it say under her name?
Under her name?
Yeah.
It says near Steve Reynolds Boulevard since 10:30 p.m. yesterday.
What does that mean?
It means that she's been at that location or near the location since 10:30.
Okay. And if we could go to, I'm sorry, what is the battery? We see under a little battery thing under Susana's picture on the bottom.
Yes, ma'am.
What does that mean?
It tells what her phone battery is.
And what is the phone battery is there?
9%.
And do you know, have you ever used the 360 app when your battery's dying?
Yes.
Tell me how that works with your battery.
Whenever your battery is low, you can send, or whenever somebody else's battery is low, you can send them a message to charge their phone. That's pretty much it. You just can see other people's battery lives to be able to let them know that they need to charge their phone.
Can you still see someone's location when their battery is low?
Yes.
And in this picture of 18.3, where it's at 12, what is the battery that say for Susana?
9%.
And we're going to go to 18.4. And this picture, 18.4, is also with this screenshot.
Yes, ma'am.
And tell us what we're looking at here.
It's still her same location, so it said that she had been there since 10:30, so she's still there.
She's still in that location?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. And is that the same location where the crash alert you got was located at?
Yes, ma'am.
And what time is it now on your phone if you took this?
12:22.
And the battery, as Susana, what is her battery at this point, 10 minutes later?
I believe that says 7%.
And we're gonna go to 18.5. This picture, tell us what we're looking at here on the phone.
That is whenever her phone ran out of battery, so it doesn't show the location anymore because her phone's out of battery.
Okay, so we see that it says since 10:30 p.m. Does that mean that her battery's been out since 10:30 p.m. or since that's her location since 10:30 p.m.?
It means that is where she was at, like her location since 10:30 p.m.
So this is showing us on 18.5 that she has been at that location off Steve Reynolds since 10:30 p.m.
Yes, ma'am.
And are we able to tell what time her battery went out?
I don't believe so.
But even though her battery is out, you're still tracking her location on her phone.
Yes.
And this says 8:56. Do you know, is that 8:56 in the morning or the night?
I'm not sure.
Because we see it says, it was Susana's was last updated 15 hours ago at the top.
Mhm.
So would that be the next morning? Or you don't?
I think it's PM.
It's okay if you don't know. And again, that crash alert you got, you've only ever gotten one.
Yes, ma'am.
So if you drop your phone off the table at your house, you don't get a crash alert?
No, ma'am.
And if your battery runs out, do you get a crash alert or?
No, ma'am.
I have been taking Balance in Nature for over 2.5
And you said you talked to Esmeralda that night while she was at the location and didn't see anything signs of a crash.
Yes, ma'am.
Were you ever able to reach Susana that day?
No.
The next morning, what did you do?
The next morning, I woke up and I checked my phone, and Esme had told me that she still hadn't been in contact with anybody and that her mom had filed a police report.
And at that point, had you heard from Susana?
No.
And did you check your other social media to see if she had any signs on Snap or TikTok or anything?
Yes.
And did you see her on any other social media?
No, ma'am.
Did you take any steps to look for Susana?
Yes. So The morning, the night after she went missing, me and some of my family and friends went to the location that it said she was last at in that neighborhood and looked around. I even asked my friend if we could look at her ring footage or maybe if she seen or heard anything to let us know.
Is that your friend who lived on the Oak Block Trace apartments?
Yes.
And did you look at that ring?
Yes. There was nothing on there.
Besides looking at that location, well, how long do you think you spent at that location?
It was a couple hours. It definitely was a couple hours. Because we looked up and down the road, all in the neighborhood. There was like a shed in there that we looked in.
Do you also use the Find My Friends or Find My on the iPhone?
Yes, ma'am.
Do you have Susana on that Find My?
Yes.
Did you look for Susana on the Apple Find My app that night also?
Yes.
What did it show for that?
It's not very accurate on Find My like it is on Life 360. So
you find that Life 360 is more accurate than the Apple app?
Yes.
You said you searched that location on Oak Trace. Did you look at any other locations?
Yes, I looked at the front of her neighborhood to see if we can find anything of hers, like any jewelry or like a croc charm, to see if we can see like skid marks. I used to look for her in parks and stuff.
When you were out there at the Trace location, were police there too?
Oh, yes.
Who else was there with you besides you and police?
Her mom was there, her sister, her boyfriend Axel, Esmeralda was there, my mom was there, my uncle was there, my sister was there, her boyfriend. It was a lot of us.
So all of you were looking?
Yes.
Okay. Those pictures that we looked at up there, did you give those to the police?
Yes, ma'am.
And you said you searched some area parks and stuff?
Yeah.
Did you also help hang up letters?
Yes.
Did you ever hear from Susana again after that?
No, ma'am.
No offense, but
So sorry. I have to fix this here. Ooh, boy. All right, it's gonna be mute for a second. Let me fix it because I pressed the wrong button, unfortunately.
Can you state your name?
Elisha Bates.
And can you state your name?
Elisha Bates.
So you said you got this text. Do you remember what time you got the text?
I was around 10, I believe.
Unfortunately, I can't remember what point that we was at. But okay, I think we got the gist of her. Now we're gonna get into the next one. I truly apologize. I want to finish her whole testimony, but we can't. Now we're gonna get into this.
Can you state your name?
Elisha Bates.
Elisha Bates. Yep. Okay, now we're gonna get into this lady. All right, now basically her story is, if you check the my past commentary, you'll see, but he was stalking her, big time. But let's hear what she have to say. Let's get it.
Can you state your name?
Elisha Bates.
And can you spell your full name?
Elasha. Last name Bates.
And Miss Bates, how old are you?
23.
And Miss Bates, are you working?
I do.
What do you do for a living?
I work from home as a loan processor.
And what type of loans do you process?
Insurance.
How long have you done that work?
About two years.
Did you go to school?
I went to school for cosmetology.
What about high school? Did you graduate?
Yes, ma'am, I graduated.
What school did you graduate from?
Loganville High School.
Okay. And do you know Mr. Miles Bryant?
Yes.
When did you first meet him?
5th grade, Hambrook Elementary School.
Pembroke Elementary School?
Yes, ma'am.
Was that here in Gwinnett County?
Yes. Or no, yes, I think, I don't know.
It's okay. You said in 5th grade. Were you guys friends in 5th grade?
Yes, the best of friends.
The best of friends, okay. And friends that went to each other's houses?
No.
Or just friends in school?
Just friends in school.
When I weighed 300 pounds, I made a sacred
Guys, friends from 5th grade to what grade?
11th grade.
So from all the way through middle school and then most of high school?
Yes.
And in 11th grade, what school were you in then?
11th grade, I transferred to Loganville High School from Brookmar High School.
Okay, so you did your freshman and sophomore years at Brookmar High School?
Yes, ma'am.
And was Mr. Bryant at Brookmar as well?
Yes, ma'am.
Were you guys in the same grade?
We were.
And you were still friends in high school.
Yes.
What happened when you transferred to Loganville? Were you still friends?
Barely. I barely talked to him.
Okay. When you say barely talked to him, how often do you think you talked to him after you left and went to Loganville?
If he reached out, but I wouldn't make initial contact with him.
What about after you graduated from Loganville High School? Were you talking to him then?
No.
And at some point, actually, did you talk to him, you think, during your senior year of high school?
If he would have reached out, but I didn't reach out to him, no.
And did you guys ever hang out after you moved?
No.
And at some point, after you graduated, hear from Mr. Bryant again?
Yes, after graduating in 2019, he reached out to me.
Okay. And I know you said you were the best of friends. Did you all ever date?
No, he liked me in 5th grade. We never dated. He dated my best friend, Kishana.
You dated your best friend, Kishana? What's Kishana's last name?
Phillips.
And was Kishana Phillips, did she go to Berkmar with you all too?
Yes, until she moved to Archer.
Okay. Do you know what grades Mr. Bryant dated Kishana?
I believe it was freshman year, and they probably were still dating up until senior year.
Okay. But you never hung out with Mr. Bryant outside of school?
Not unless Kishana was there. We did a movie double date. To the movies, I brought my own date, and he brought her, and we all hung out, and after I went back to her house.
So let me get this right. Okay, they supposed to be friends, whatever. But he had a girlfriend, this creep right here. So this creep had a girlfriend, but he's over here looking at this other woman while they double dating. This man is a creep. Wow. All right, we'll just hear some more. Wait till you see what else. Oh, boy.
Back in September of 2022, do you remember reconnecting with Mr. Bryant?
Yes.
And in September of 2022, what were you doing with your life? Were you in school or working?
22, I was working 4 jobs.
4 jobs?
Yes.
Okay, tell us what jobs were you working then?
I worked at Taco Bell as a manager. I worked at Waffle House as a server. I worked at Publix as a stalker. And in my free time, I worked on Uber Eats. And I did hair, of course.
Of course. I don't know how you had time to do that, but okay. So you're working those 4 jobs and you said you reconnected with them. Who initiated the contact to reconnect?
Miles reached out to me.
How did he reach out to you?
I believe it was Snapchat or text message. He reached out stating that he wanted to get back with Donna and he wanted to talk.
At that point, were you still friends with Kishana? You guys were still in touch?
We talked here and there, not like the best of friends, but we definitely still had each other's back.
And then in September of 2022, when Mr. Bryant reached back out to you, where were you living?
I was staying in Snellville at Annistown, off Annistown Road at Stone Creek on the Green.
Is that an apartment complex?
Yes, ma'am.
And that apartment complex in Snellville, is that here in Gwinnett County?
I think it's Gwinnett.
Okay. And you said he reached back out to you. Did you see him in person?
Yes. When he texted me, he stated that he wanted to talk to me and get advice about them rekindling their relationship. So he pulled up to my apartment complex.
The apartment on Annistown?
Yes, ma'am. We sat in the car and talked.
Okay. And when you sat in the car and talked, did at some point he come inside your apartment?
Yes, ma'am. It was getting late. I was going to go pick my boyfriend up, and he came inside to talk to me for a little bit before he left. He said he wanted to make sure I made it home safe, made it inside.
Okay. And let's talk about your apartment. Describe your apartment. Was it first floor, second floor, third floor?
My apartment was on the 2nd floor.
Okay. And is it an apartment that had a door that went to the outside, or did you have to go inside a building to get to the door?
Outside.
Okay. And how do you get up to your apartment? Stairs or elevator?
Stairs.
Okay. You said he came into your apartment. How long do you think he was in your apartment?
Maybe an hour, if that. I felt uncomfortable.
Why'd you feel uncomfortable?
He was at my apartment and we were talking. He sat on the couch, but then he asked to use the bathroom. I watch a lot of TV shows, a lot of SUV and Criminal Minds. When he asked to use the bathroom, I opened my room door because it connects. I felt like he was going to go in there. Sure enough, as soon as he didn't even use the bathroom, he opened the room door, starts to go in my room, looks around the closet. He was pushing on the walls, making sure it was sturdy.
What do you mean? What do you mean he's pushed on the walls?
Like the frame of the walls, like the door. He was pushing on it to see how strong it was.
Did he tell you that's why he was doing that?
No, he didn't ever say why. He did it on the front door as well.
Okay. And you said he went into your room. Where were you when he went into your room?
I was sitting on the kitchen counter. I was looking at my bank statements. I was a server, so I had like $500 in cash. The person I dated had only a Cash App account. So I asked Miles could I give him the cash and he transferred me the funds, which he agreed to.
So what do you mean? You asked him to transfer the funds. Explain why you did that.
Because I was a servant. I didn't feel like running back out late to an ATM to deposit the money so that I could pay my rent. So I gave him cash and had him send me the funds, and then he left.
Okay, so he did that for you.
Mm-hmm.
I said yes.
Sorry, yes, ma'am.
Okay, so when he went into your bedroom, did you say anything to him?
Yes, I asked him what he was doing and why he was in there, and he was like, "I'm just looking." It was weird.
Did you ask him to leave?
Yes, after he did that, I grabbed a knife and I had it like underneath my leg while he was in the house, just because I know he has that background. So if anything were to happen, I needed to be able to protect myself in the situation.
What background did you know he had?
I've been friends with him, like I said, since 5th grade. I knew that he took JRTC. He's been on plenty of trips and stuff like that with them. Then I knew that he had a military background and he's a cop.
Tired of typing tons of notes during class? There's
After you hung out that time in September 2022, did you hear from him again?
Yes, he reached out multiple occasions. He kept calling me. He kept texting me, asking me to link. He asked me on an occasion about moonshine.
Okay.
Why is he asking me about moonshine? BG, you have a point. I was thinking about that too. Donna, I think that he was hired at 18. Way too young for that much authority. Creep. Exactly. Don't they do evaluation check? I hope they do a psychological evaluation on him, because I really want to know what's going on, because I'm about 100% sure this is a sociopath, psychopath. Definitely a sociopath. And yesterday when we was covering this stuff, this is ridiculous. These women are supporting him. Even the mother. Just like Pimple Face Killer, Aiden Fucci. His mom over there washing the jeans. What is wrong with them? Just like Gabby Petito. I mean, your son comes home. Where's your fiance? And they helped to cover it. They didn't say anything. And her parents is calling, trying to figure out what the heck happened to my daughter, and they don't want to answer. Says, speak to my lawyer. Sorry, I had to let that out. All right, let's resume.
One moment.
Exactly. Oh, mother, you gonna tell me you can fine? Oh well.
You said you reached back out to you. Was that via phone or text?
Text.
Okay, I'm showing you what's the mark. It states 56. If you could take a moment and look at that document. Do you recognize that document?
Yes, ma'am.
And there are 3 pages that are stapled together and states 56. If you could look at all 3 of them. Are those text messages from your phone?
Yes, ma'am.
Is that a true and accurate copy of screenshots of text from your phone between you and the defendant that you took?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, this time it's under state 56.
No objection. Okay, states 56 submitted without objection.
Permission to publish state 56, Your Honor?
I mean, you have a computer right here. It's gonna come up, and there's one back there. So, but you can, either one is, there's one right here if you'd like some more.
Yes. And if you could zoom in so she can read the text messages. And this is your phone, correct, Ms. Bates?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, and what is the date on the first message?
September 12th of 2022.
Okay, and the blue, is that you or Mr. Bryant?
That's me.
Okay. Can you read the messages, starting with the date and what the messages say?
September 12th of 2022 is question mark. Miles responds, "This Miles, my bad. I was seeing such because I was out. You working?" Which is on September 13th of 2022 at 1:34 p.m. I responded September 13th at 9:22 p.m. Need to, but no, I couldn't. And he said, "I'm going to pull up on you tomorrow if that looks." I said, "No, I'll let you know." He said, "Okay." I never responded. He texted me again September 19th, 2022, 11:58. "You up?" The next day I responded at 7:33 a.m. "Am now, you good?"
Okay. Continue to the next page. And what is the date of the first message?
September 20th.
Okay, that's the one you just read. And what's the next one from?
September 20th at 4:24. He texted me and said, "Hey, are you free?" I never responded. He texted again September 20th at 6 p.m. I have that software downloaded. Let me know what's up.
Do you know what software he was talking about?
He wanted me to let him get my ex's phone so that he could see if my ex was talking to other people. And I said that I didn't need to do all that. Like, who does that? Like, I would just leave if it's that serious.
Okay, so you didn't ask him for any software?
No, ma'am.
Okay, you can keep reading. What's the next one back in October?
October 15th at 8:05, link. I said, like, hang out, link. Like, people typically say link as like sexual. It's not like just to hang out. So,
How did you respond?
I said I'm still on finishing an order. He said, "Bet I'm gonna be on that side. Let me know. I got this moonshine I want you to try." I said, "Oh hell, laugh my fucking ass off," which is LMAFAO. Sorry. He said, "Not, it's good. It's banana pudding. Trust me."
Okay.
December 10th at 11:40.
Next one, thank you.
He said, "Hey, just called to check on you. Good."
Okay. And was that the last message that you received?
Yes, ma'am.
And if we could scroll to the top. I'm sorry. You want up top, what do you have Mr. Bryant saved in as your phone?
Miles the stalker with an axe and a hole.
Did you put that in there?
I sure did.
Why'd you put that in there?
Because he was stalking me and he's a weirdo.
Okay. We saw all those messages, him asking to hang out. After September 20th, the first day that you guys met up at your apartment, did you ever initiate any contact to hang out with him?
No, ma'am.
Did you ever go out with him? Or
never called him, text him, none of that.
Okay, there's another clip of her, the rest of her testimony. So it's going to be silent for a second while I set it up.
So he was on a Myron tip.
Yes, he was. You get ready to see some stuff, Jack. Definitely admiring. I wish I could play that clip, but they won't let me. Okay, let me get into this next clip. This guy's a true creep. And she's mad. But wait till you hear the 911 call, Jack. You're gonna hear this one. Yeah.
You know what, Donna? I wouldn't be surprised if Myron Gaines ever get on trial one day for this.
Oh yeah.
One half of the fresh and fit, not Walter, but the tall guy.
Yeah, I do see that. Eventually, they had too many knuckle. Whatever. All right. Isn't she gorgeous? Beautiful young lady. Beautiful young lady. And she had an awesome boyfriend. And this creep Lowlife came along. Wow, you have a woman. Let's get back. Oh, did I lose it? You have a woman in college. Y'all been together for 2 years. Wow, this woman at the bottom, you in a relationship with her, and she living in your house. So she living with you, sleeping in bed while you over here with this other woman long distance over here in college. You is a piece of crap. That's why prosecution is trying to bring everything out to show who you are. And when you get on the stand, I'm going to have some fun with you. All right, now let's hear the rest of this lady's testimony. Let's get it.
All right. Go ahead, Miss Letitia.
Thank you. All right, Ms. Bates, before we took a break, we were talking about those text messages.
Just look at his face, trying to sit there like he don't understand what's happening. You know what's happening. You was stalking these young girls. Why are you asking these young girls, let's do, and what's it, edibles or whatever, and drinking? You an officer. Are you kidding me? Is your mother watching this trial? Is mama watching this trial? Did she see this? I know, we love our sons. But you cannot be supporting this. I don't know. These are all my thoughts and opinions, ladies and gentlemen. Everybody's thoughts and opinions on this. But we know one thing. Your son is a creep. Bottom line. There's no argument there. He's a creep.
Officer Creepy.
He was probably born a creep. But we're not going to go there. I wish they have a medical examination on him. All right, ladies and gentlemen, hang in there. This is the last clip, and then I will. Yeah, I think it's the last. It's the last clip, and I'll let y'all go. We have to hear the rest of this lady's testimony. Let's get it.
Message that we saw in your phone, states 56, and you stated that you had labeled Mr. Bryant's in your phone as Miles the stalker. Is that correct?
Yes, ma'am.
And why did you label him that?
Because he was being very weird. His behavior, it was stalker vibes, and he was stalking me. He showed up to my house unannounced on numerous occasions.
Okay. Your apartment, you said, was on the second floor.
I feel the same way. I don't get it. What did they see in this little peep squeak? I mean, he looks like a typical dust bucket. He looks like a dust bucket. Just look at him. Even with the haircut, still look like a dust bucket. What did these women? That's a good. Oh, I'm sorry. We ain't talking about you, Buffy. Sorry, I didn't mean to bring your loser ass. You another one too, but we're not talking about him. What did? Oh, I missed the wrong picture. Did he? You just annoying. What did these women see in him? That's a very good question. Because these women is really not that bad looking. The one on the top and the bottom. The one in the middle, that's Mama. What did they see? And then the one on top, she still loves him. Wow. All right, I'll stop talking. Let's get through this. Well, I'll try to stop talking. I always say that, right? But I still keep talking, don't I? Yeah, I do.
Any of your neighbors have video cameras that faced your door?
Yes, ma'am. The neighbor across the hall had a Ring camera set up.
Okay.
Shout out to the neighbor. Amen to her or him.
And I'm showing you what's the mark. It states 57. If you could take a moment and look at that photograph. Is that a true and accurate copy of a photo from the Ring doorbell, your door at your apartment on Anniston Road?
Yes, ma'am.
Your Honor, time states 57.
No objection. States 57 is admitted without objection.
Permission to publish states 57.
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah, my day to go with.
Biscuit head Dusty. BG. Oh my God. I'm so done. He said biscuit head Dusty. Okay, let's fast forward here. Okay.
Technological problem, always. Can't go to trial without it.
And which one states 57? Is this your door?
Yes, ma'am.
And if we can zoom in on the door. And where did you get this picture from?
My neighbor across the hall.
Okay. And this is, tell us that we saw the stairs. This is how you get up to your apartment?
Yes, ma'am.
The door that we're looking at, explain how the door handle works.
We have to turn the knob to get in. So regularly it's just going to be up like it is in a picture.
Okay, so you have to push it down and turn it down to get into the apartment?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. And the hallway, you're saying the door that has the Ring camera, that's directly across from your door?
Yes, ma'am.
Now, ladies and gentlemen, really look at this creep. Just look at this. Now, if I seen this video and see my son like this, are you kidding me? Oh no. This is what I have to see. This is video. This is no he say, she say. Wow. And I support, not supporting no monster. Resume.
And I'm showing what's been marked as 57.1. Do you recognize that photograph?
Yes, ma'am.
Is that a true and accurate copy of another photograph from your neighbor's Ring doorbell of your door at your Anniston Road apartment?
Yes, ma'am.
Your Honor, under states 57.1.
No objection. States 57.1 is admitted without objection.
Permission to publish 57.1.
Yes, ma'am.
And tell us what we're looking at here, Ms. Bates.
Miles Bryant trespassing because he was not invited this day that he came.
What is the date that this is marked on the,
October 15th of 2022
at what time?
at 6:53 p.m.
And that's Mr. Bryant there on the camera?
Yes, ma'am.
Did you invite him to visit you that day?
No, ma'am.
Did you know he was at your house that day?
No, ma'am.
Do you know if you were home that day?
I don't believe I was. I believe I was at work.
Okay. And again, you got this from your neighbor?
Yes, ma'am.
Were there any other times besides this day that Mr. Bryant came to your house uninvited?
Yes, ma'am.
Do you know what month that those occurred?
I believe in December and I think November.
And the videos, did you get videos of the Ring doorbell capturing Mr. Bryant at your home?
Yes, ma'am.
From your neighbor?
Yes, ma'am.
Have you had an opportunity to watch those videos?
I have.
I'm showing you a disc to mark as states 11. If you could take a moment and look at that disc. Is that your initials on there?
Yes, ma'am, it is.
Did you initial that after watching those videos?
I did.
And the videos that are contained on that disc are those true and accurate copies of the Ring doorbell videos from your neighbor of your door of your Inscott apartment in 2022?
Yes, ma'am.
Your Honor, this time it's under states 11.
No objection. States 11 is submitted without objection.
And Your Honor, there are two videos on states 11. Permission to publish those videos on states 11?
Yes.
What's crazy about this? If I have the timeline correct, so I'm still trying to follow this trial the best that I can, but I got the basics. So you got all right. Let's go back. I'm sorry, Legion. I have to pause sometimes because I have to do commentary. It is what it is. Okay. So you tell me why he's stalking this other woman that we about to see, right? He got this woman, the long distance relationship in college, right? For about 2 years. And he got this other woman at the bottom, a whole relationship, whole woman in his bed, living with him. So, and then he's out here stalking this other woman. This is insane. This is insane. Why were you born? Oh well. Resume.
And I know it's kind of hard to see. Can you read the date? Can you read the date on the bottom of this one?
December 10th of 2022.
And what time is this?
19.
And I also want to add to you, creep Miles, you got a bubble butt. You ain't gonna have no luck in prison. A man with a bubble butt, you don't need to be in no prison. Okay, resume.
21 hours.
If we can play the video. And Ms. Bates, was that your apartment?
Yes, ma'am.
Do you recognize the man that was trying to get on your door?
I do.
Who was that?
Miles Bryant.
And if we could just go back to like the end of it and pause. There, we see your door handle. How's your door handle in this video?
Push down.
Is that how the regular position is if no one was trying to get into it?
No, ma'am.
This was on December 10th. Again, were you home?
No, ma'am.
Did you invite Mr. Bryant to your home that day?
No, ma'am.
Do you know where you were that day?
Working. I had just gotten off when my neighbor showed me the video.
And Your Honor, we're going to play the second video on States 11. Can you publish that?
Certainly.
Thank you.
Are you finding yourself working all
Video on States 11. Can you publish that?
Certainly.
Thank you.
Oh, he's gonna be done in prison. He don't just have a bubble butt. He also got hips too. They gonna have fun with you. They gonna put some makeup and wig on you. I see you, good karma, creeping through the back door. I see you. I see you. All right, let's resume. They gonna get you bubble butt and hips.
Ms. Bates, can you see the date and time for it here?
Yes, ma'am. It is December 11th, 2022, 17:41.
And were you home that day on December 11th at that time?
Yes, ma'am.
You were home?
Yes.
Had you invited Mr. Bryant?
No, ma'am.
Did you answer the door that day when he came?
I did not.
How did you know who was at the door?
Because he was stalking me. I posted something to set him up to come to my apartment.
Okay, let's talk about that. What do you mean you posted something?
My neighbor showed me previously that Miles kept coming to my apartment.
Was that the video that we just watched of him trying to
open the door? Yes, ma'am.
So after you saw that video, what did you do?
I purchased a gun. My boyfriend had a gun already at the moment. I posted a bunch of videos and pictures looking cute on Snapchat, flooded and said I was going back home, which is Missouri.
So you posted that you were going to Missouri. Was Mr. Bryant friends with you on social media that he would be able to see those posts saying you were going to Missouri?
Yes, ma'am. He was the first one to watch all 10 videos I posted within the first couple seconds.
How do you know he watched all those videos?
Snapchat tells you views.
Okay. So after you posted the videos, what happened?
After I posted the videos, I waited. My ex-boyfriend at the moment, he pulled the TV closer so he could be in the door frame of my bedroom. I laid in the bathroom on the floor. I was just laying there. I didn't think that he'd be able to hear it through with the TV on. So maybe like an hour later, we hear knocking. He didn't hear it. I heard it at first, and I knew it was Miles.
Sorry.
My ex at the time.
Okay, so you were in the bathroom and you heard the knocking.
I heard the knocking, so I knew it was Miles. I grabbed my gun and I peeked through the peephole. I cocked the gun back, and he had his pointed at the door as well. I thought the whole thing through. I didn't want to just murder somebody like that, so I called the cops as well, so it'd all be documented.
And you said that you heard the gun cock. Was that your gun? Your cock?
My gun cocked back, yes, ma'am.
And how were you able to see Mr. Bryant?
I could see through the peephole that it was him.
And what did you see when you looked through the peephole?
At first, he was just standing there. He started knocking on the door, and then as I backed away, he started kicking on it harder. I moved to the living room of the house, and I started calling 911 at a distance so he wouldn't hear the phone call.
And when you looked through the door, the peephole, was he wearing this gray hoodie that we see here in the video, Stage 11?
Yes, ma'am.
And you said you called the police?
Yes, ma'am.
Do you know how many times you called the police?
I probably have called them a total of 3 or 4.
That day on December 10th and 11th, do you know how many times you called that weekend?
No, but I was determined to figure out where Miles worked because I knew that he was a cop. So I did research on Facebook and found his Doraville sheriff's ID badge or whatever. And then I started calling around. And then I was able to find out that he was a Doraville cop. And I made the complaint to his supervisor who told me that Miles stayed at
Ms. Bates, I need you to not say anything that anyone else says, just what you know from your own knowledge, but not what other people tell you, okay? So you called Doraville Police and complained?
I called Doraville Police and complained about the defendant.
And you also called Gwinnett County 911, correct?
I did.
And have you listened to both of the 911 calls you made to Gwinnett County Police?
Yes, ma'am.
I'm showing you the first disc, which is marked States 30. If you could take a moment. Do you recognize States 30, that disc?
Yes, ma'am. It's initial.
Is that your initials?
Yes, ma'am.
And when you listened to that 911 call, was that a true and accurate recording of a 911 call you made back in December of 2022 to Gwinnett County Police in reference to Mr. Bryant being at your door?
Yes, ma'am.
Your Honor, my tender States 30. No objection.
Okay, States 30 is admitted without objection.
Permission to publish States 30, Your Honor?
Yes, ma'am.
004924 seconds.
911, what is the location of your emergency? Gwinnett County 911, what is the location of your emergency?
It's 3974 Newtown Road.
This is a house subject to an apartment.
Apartment address is 205.
Okay, and this is Stone Creek on the Green?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, and what's your phone number in case we get disconnected?
470-506-7406.
What's going on?
Somebody tried to break into my apartment not too long ago. I was just returned home. My neighbor, she was coming home too, and she let me know somebody's trying to break in. But I know who it is. And he was in my military, and he still works for the cop.
Okay, so when you say he was trying to break in, what exactly did he do? Did he kick the door? What did he do?
He was trying to get inside. He was pulling on the doorknob. He covered his face up. Wouldn't look at the ring camera. None of that.
Okay, and so how long ago was this?
This was tonight. But when he broke into my
Like 10 minutes
apartment,
ago, 20 minutes ago, like time lapse. How long ago?
like 7 something.
7 p.m.?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, and so, did you know this person? What kind of relationship do you have with this person?
We went to high school. No, we went to high school together like years ago. His name was Miles Bryant.
Okay, and so what's your name?
Alicia Bates.
And you're able to pull pull the video footage, that's correct?
Yes, ma'am, I can forward it to you now if you like.
Well, I'm going to send an officer out there to you, so there's no need for that. And then just to make sure that I have the address correct, give it to me one more time.
3974 Newtown Road, apartment 205, Silver Georgia 30039.
Okay, and we'll have them out there to you as soon as possible, okay?
Okay, thank you.
Thank you, bye-bye.
Ms. Space, I'm showing you a copy of the second 911 call, which is labeled Space 59. Do you recognize that disc also?
Yes, ma'am.
Is that your initials on the disc?
Yes, ma'am, it is.
And when you
I see you, 603, creeping through the back door. Blessings to you, beautiful blessings. Glad to have you here. We back with this creep cop. We're doing recaps of week 1. Next week is week 2, and I think they said it's only going to be like a 2-week trial. All right, we'll listen to the 911 calls.
listened to Space 59, was that a true or an accurate reporting of a second 911 call you made to Gwinnett County Police in reference to Mr. Bryant attempting to break into your apartment in December of 2022?
Yes, ma'am.
This comment under States 59.
No. States 59 is admitted without objection.
Permission to publish States 59, Your Honor?
Yes, ma'am.
1942, 54 seconds. Gwinnett 911, what's the location of your emergency? 3974. Repeat it. Okay, repeat the address for me. 3974 Newtown Road, apartment 205. Okay, do you know this person? Yes. No. Who is it? Miles Bryant. Miles Bryant? Yes. Who is he to you? He's a friend from school, like years ago.
Look at her breaking down on the stand. She's still traumatized from that event. I hope she got some sort of lawsuit going on, because what I'm seeing here with her, oh, she has a case. Listen to the 911 call. She's calling for help and how they treat her. Remember, everybody, the speed is a little bit faster here, okay? Like I said, you can slow it down on your end. All right, let's resume.
I graduated from 19, and then I was about to in 2017. Talked to him maybe last year until the good time, but I was at home. But how do you know it's him? I never caught it on camera. It was too late, and I knew it was. Okay, what is he, when you say he's breaking in? He's at my door, trying to get in. So is he like jiggling the door? Is he kicking it? Yes, I'm pushing up against it. Okay. Were y'all in a relationship? No, never. He dated my best friend. Have you seen any weapons? No. Why would he be trying to get into your house? I don't know. I mean, he wouldn't just randomly come to your house. Have y'all been in an argument? No, never, ever. Can you can help me? And that's what I'm doing, but I need you to stay on the phone with me. No, we're never in a relationship. Okay, so why would he be at your house? Is your friend there? No, I don't know. Okay, is he white, black, Hispanic, Asian, Indian? Black. Do you know what he's wearing? No, but in the video yesterday, he had on a gray hoodie. He's in his car. It's in front of my neighborhood. It's a black Ford. It looks like an F-150 pickup truck. And all I keep hearing is fuck, 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 fuck. So he was there yesterday trying to get in as well? Yes. Do you have any weapons? Yes, I have a pistol. Are you in possession of the pistol? Yes. And my boyfriend's here as well. And he has a firearm as well. Is he in the house with you? Yes. Is your boyfriend right beside you? He's watching the door. I'm watching outside the window to his car. He's trying to leave now. Yeah, he's leaving now. Okay, what is your name? Alicia Bates. She's leaving. I'm trying to boss you. Hold on. I can't see you today. She's going to the gate. Is the cop close? No, ma'am, they're not. She's towards the gate? Yeah, she's going to the gate now. Okay, what's your phone number, Alicia? 470-506-7406. Okay. Is he leaving for sure? Yes, he's leaving. Okay. Gate and there's a guy behind him. Okay. Who's behind him? It was a black, like a silver Newtown behind him. Okay. Okay, we'll send somebody out there since y'all seem to be having a problem with him, and they will come out and meet with you. I need you to go ahead and put the weapons away, though, okay? Yes, ma'am. Okay, thank you. But are we going to be if you get arrested tonight, are we going to be able to do that? I don't know, ma'am. Obviously, something's going on that you're not telling me. I don't know why. No, ma'am, there's nothing going on that I'm not telling you. He was dating my friend from years ago when we were all kids. I've known him since 5th grade. He dated him. They broke up in high school. I hadn't talked to him since. He was talking to me about them, about possibly getting back together with her. I knew that she still had somewhat feelings, and he still liked her, so we talked. He came to my house, he had pizza, we talked about her, and I sent him home. He tried to stay to sleep. I said no, and I sent him home. When was that? I kind of wake up. When was my apartment broken into today? Last year, maybe December something? December, November, something like that. Okay. We will get an officer out to meet with y'all. If you will, like I said, go ahead and put those weapons up for me, okay? Yes, ma'am. Okay, thank you. If he comes back, I'll give a call back.
And Stacy, did you end up speaking to law enforcement?
I don't think they sent a unit. They called my phone, but nobody ever came.
We heard on the 911 call that you mentioned your apartment had been broken in the year prior. Did you know who broke into your house? Did you have that time?
I didn't know. I had an assumption because I received a bunch of phone calls and text messages from Miles.
Okay, but you didn't know you weren't there to see who broke into your apartment, right?
No, ma'am, I was working.
Tell me what type of damage was on your apartment the first time it was broken into, you said.
The first time it was broken into, they kicked the door off the hinges. There were screws loose and everything it was just gone.
And this 911 call we just heard was from December 11th of 2022. Had you invited Mr. Bryant to your home that day?
No, ma'am.
The next day, on December 12th of 2022, did you see Mr. Bryant again at your house?
Yes, ma'am.
Tell us what happened that day.
Like I said, I set him up to come. I posted stuff on Snapchat and posted a bunch of stuff saying that I was going to leave town, which I figured if he's stalking me and he wants to get rid of me or do anything to me, he would try to abduct me before I left.
And did you see Mr. Bryant standing by, or his truck, by the dumpster or trash area of your apartment?
Yes, ma'am. I was leaving. I was walking to my car. I just felt funny, I felt like somebody was watching me. And
Okay, that's the end of that clip. Seemed like there was more of this. I should have went to the other angle. All right, but we get the gist of it, of everything. And yeah, she is so tiny. She was scared to death. I wish I had got more of this. Maybe I'll do something separate with the 911 call. It don't seem like they really cared. They would protect the officer. Put away your gun. Put away your gun. So he could just break in and kill her. So sad. All right, we're going to have a moment of silence. And I will be doing some more, more commentary on this one. I just want to do, do the clips this weekend of week 1. So week 2, we're going to get more into it, and I'll probably be doing it during the week. So you'll be seeing me a lot during this week. Hopefully, I'll be able to. But to see what else happened on this trial. So sad. Well, I'm glad that they caught him. And I can't wait when he gets on the stand. What does this monster have to say? All right, ladies and gentlemen, thank you everybody for being here. Thank you for engaging. Thank you for hitting the like button. And stay tuned for some more of Donna Just Being Real. Let's have a moment of silence for this beautiful young lady. All she was doing, she was hanging out with her friends, heading home. And then this creep is out here. You're supposed to be out here protecting and serving. But no, That's not what he's doing. Wow. Moment of silence.